Good Wednesday morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for the next 7 days and beyond. Our impacts fire weather-wise are significant. The hot and dry weather lingers today, area here in the yellow, left side of the map here. Looking here, we do have high risk for lightning expanding in coverage across parts of northwestern Nevada. More lightning further south and east. This will be primarily wetter. And while that wetter lightning remains to the south, we expect that drier lightning, or a mix of wet and dry, to start expanding further northward Thursday and Friday. Other wetter lightning further to the south and east. Another concern will be strong winds in the lee of the Sierra coming in out of the southwest. Quite gusty. Some of the areas will be fairly moist from recent rains, but the further north you go, especially in some of our fires, the drier it will be. We did have significant lightning activity, mostly across southern Nevada and pushing up the Sierra chain. It was on the wetter side, but there were some drier strikes here on the outer periphery. You can see precipitation here on the left-hand side. Initial attack, new fires, fairly light. We do have lots of existing larger fires in the open purple circles through here. Precipitation the past 7 days quite dry, just scant precipitation amounts on the left-hand side, and even the last 30 days quite dry in most of those areas shaded in blue. Even the green areas are not that significant, maybe a half inch to an inch, so monsoon has quieted down quite a bit. Most areas have dried out considerably in the recent days. Now we look at the current ERC conditions, and you can see that we are starting to see some purples here, 97th percentile in some of the areas in the central mountains of Idaho. Critically dry wherever you see the red, and most of these ERCs are on the rise. Here's our satellite imagery. Upper level maps show the high pressure ridge building overhead, but here's some of that moisture trapped through and pushing into parts of southern Utah, Nevada, and pushing into western Nevada, also being enhanced by this trough of low pressure off the central California coast. Here's a look at the upper level pattern on the left hand side. You see, despite the strong ridge of high pressure, the clockwise flow is pushing in some moisture from the south. So we see this here across southern and western areas, and this is where we expect to see the lightning. On the drier side here in northwest Nevada, there will be extensive lightning further south. It will be on the wetter side. Further to the north and east, we remain hot and dry. We look at weather-wise, we see the precipitation here on the right-hand side where thunderstorm activity is expected, and where it's in those bluish shades, that's a half inch to an inch of precipitation. Lighter precipitation, a few hundredths of an inch in that lightest shade of green. You can see winds here on the left-hand side. Strong outflow boundaries from these thunderstorms could produce wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. You see those purples. Otherwise, moderate winds at 15 to 25 sliding off the Sierra. Now on Thursday, some of that moisture does weaken, but still trickles up into parts of western Idaho and surges further eastwards. But anywhere in this area where we see the light green, we could see thunderstorm activity, even some areas in the black. Here's our high risk for lightning on the right-hand side. Lightning on the map becomes more scattered. You see a lot more of the lighter precipitation amounts. That'll typically translate itself to drier lightning. Another concern with a trough low pressure approaching from the west is strong winds of 30 to 50 miles per hour, more widespread, not just associated with thunderstorms across western Nevada. We go further down the road into Friday. There's that trough low pressure now tapping more moisture up through here. Some of this will be wetter, as you see areas in green, but further north across parts of northwest Utah into eastern Idaho and even western Wyoming, a mix of dry and wet lightning. We have high risk issued for those areas. Precipitation on the right-hand side. Winds on the left, and again, see those stronger winds coming off the Sierra, gusts of over 30 miles per hour. Otherwise, outflow boundary winds from the numerous thunderstorms. Precipitation over the next 3 days, heaviest across the higher terrain of Utah and southern Nevada, lighter elsewhere, so that translates itself to the lightning being drier. But by Saturday, this should be wetter lightning through here. We see areas in the green. You can see how our fuels have moistened considerably. On Sunday, similar conditions. Moisture starts exiting the region. On Monday, still low pressure sitting over here, so there'll still be some occasional thunderstorms rotating on through, but the bigger picture shows high pressure and drying, especially across our northern areas, and we see that pattern continue again on Tuesday. We start seeing drying conditions across most of our northern areas. Precipitation over the next 7 days, again, heaviest across the mountains of our eastern and southern areas. To the right, with the hurricane possibly making landfall across Florida, these are projections for rainfall in the southeast. Our 8 to 14 day outlook, September 13th to the 19th, shows above normal temperatures continuing across the Great Basin. Above normal precipitation could be poking in as well, so keep that in mind. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.